Okay, so basically this is a video of how to set up Zoom meetings so you can actually have Zoom live meetings streaming live using OBS. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to open up OBS on the computer. There's the black icon, you open it up, and we are going to have two instances of OBS running. Now what you want to do with this, the first instance of OBS, you're going to have it as your virtual camera. So you're going to have the camera sitting in the right side, which is the program portion of the studio mode. And in the preview mode, this is not necessary, but it's easier to put. I'm going to put the 2020 Vision logo in here. This is just a way of recognizing that this instance of OBS is for we're going to use this as the virtual camera. Okay, so there's a button here. You're going to start virtual camera, and what this enables is that virtual camera can be used in more than one application. If you don't do this, you can't use the camera in more than one application, and it's necessary to have the virtual camera running so that you can use it in more than one application without problems. The other thing you want to do is you're going to mute this because it's not needed. You won't need any audio in it. So it's also another way of recognizing that this OBS instant that is running is just going to be used for the virtual camera. Then you open up another instance of OBS. This is the one that you're going to be streaming from. So it has, that, and you just launch anyway. Okay, you launch it anyway. So you have two instances. Okay, good. The other thing you need to do is to come down here by speakers, select open volume mixer, and I want you to mute both instances of OBS that are running. You have them muted. Okay, that is going to cause feedback and all sorts of problems, so you don't want that happening because you're going to be Zoom meeting and you don't want any feedback, unnecessary feedback and stuff. No. In this instance of OBS, you could move any scene over to the program menu, but the one with the camera is going to be the OBS virtual camera. So this is the virtual camera that you've already started in the previous version of OBS, and you could move that over and you could stream as per usual. The problem is that when you're doing Zoom meetings, you only want to stream from Facebook and no other platform because it takes up a lot of resources, and you don't want to overload the computer because it would get really bad, like the audio and certain things will get really bad if you are doing that. Okay, Zoom and OBS take up a lot of resources. So that's this is the OBS version that you're going to be streaming from, and you see this has a zoom capture. Right now it's blank because nothing is in Zoom, but we're going to open Zoom now, and we are going to start a meeting, by and large a fake meeting. So you just click start. We're going to run a meeting. This is just for testing. Join with computer audio. Okay, so that's your Zoom meeting that is started. What I advise people to do is to move this over to the next screen. Let me see if I can move this over to the next screen. It has not come over. this over to the next screen. Let me shift back to the other screen. Okay. And make this as big as possible. The best thing to do is to make this as big as possible. Okay. Now let me shift back. Remember we have two other screens that are connected, and we have one main screen, so I'm shifting between both. So we have OBS open, Zoom open on the two other monitors, and it's open big. And basically your guests would come in here, you'd admit them, you'll start your Zoom meeting, you'll do what you have to do. And when you're ready, you can switch over the Zoom to the program menu, and your audience would now see your live Zoom meeting. Okay, so that's the Zoom capture. You can move it. You can't really tell any difference until you have somebody actually logging into the Zoom meeting. But that's basically how you set up the Zoom meeting. You start streaming as per normal, and that should actually work. Okay, the only other thing is there's a mix bus button on the PC channel, because you have to open that channel. It is not in the normal position, it's normally down. You want to have it up. Okay, that would allow you to speak into the mic and receive the audio from your Zoom, the person who you're talking to in Zoom, without any problem. If you don't have that button up, it's going to cause problems. So make sure that you know that that button is going to be up when you're doing your Zoom meeting. That should basically be it. And like I said, you start your meeting as per normal. You won't have it's recommended that you only stream to one social media source. Should be Facebook, or and the computer itself can't really accommodate more than one streaming service doing Zoom. If you notice, the CPU is running pretty high. Yeah, so you have to be mindful of that. The resources, the computer, we need a more powerful computer to deal with these Zoom meetings and stuff like that. Okay, and that should be it. Thank you very much.